thank you so much for staying with the show. And it's time now to bring you your sports. And yes, it's not from the studio because we're at the Playhouse Company in Durban because this is where the South African Sports Awards took place last night. We've got a couple of the award winners with us this morning for a very special early morning start here on Morning Live. One of the big winners, and we knew they were going to be because they were nominated in so many categories, was Netball South Africa. They walked away with a total of 3 awards. For Administrator of the Year for their President, Cecilia Molokwane, for Federation of the Year, as well as for Team of the Year for their fantastic performance at the Netball World Cup, where they beat Jamaica and then they lost out on an assured medal by just 2 points when they went down to Australia in the semi-finals. So on stage with me, I've got Carla Pretorius, a lady that walked away with the Player of the Tournament at the Netball World Cup, and Captain of the team, Bongi Msomi. Welcome to all of you and congratulations on what has really been a fantastic year for netball. Cecilia, for you too, you've been the driving force behind this machine.
Thank you so much, and good morning to all the viewers. It has been a fantastic year for netball. The girls outdid themselves this year. And let me also say, the netball family, the netball fraternity, they worked hard for what we are doing, because without them, we are nothing. Without any player in any sporting code, there's no sporting code. So behind the success of netball is these beautiful players that they're doing it for us. And media, you know, they played a major role in making sure that netball becomes fashionable this year. The Department of Sports, Arts and Culture, they were all behind us. And our sponsors, we always say, SPA, it's good for netball, not for you.
SPA is good for netball. Carla, were you quite impressed by the kind of momentum that netball has really gained within the South African public's imagination in this year? You yourself, you received an award for Minister's Excellence last night, but you were nominated in the Sports Star of the Year category as well as Sportswoman of the Year. So do you feel that there's like a shift in momentum around the game of netball?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like the previous few years we really worked hard for the coming World Cup that was played in Liverpool in July. So it's really been 4 years of really hard work making sure that we're a competitive team going in there, and not just for the national team but netball as a whole in the country. And the people are really bought into the whole World Cup and backing us, and the exposure we got and the support we got from home was just amazing, and we just want to continue that force coming the next few years, building up for the next World Cup in Cape Town.
Bongi, netball has worked so hard to get the kind of coverage that it's gotten over this last year and to get the kind of momentum. Carla mentioned how many years you guys worked just to put up the kind of performance that you did in Liverpool, but that also comes with a lot of pressure moving forward, doesn't it?
I think we're very much aware as the SPA Proteas that when you represent your country, people have expectations, and that literally means they are also backing you up, but it does come with so much pressure. I remember a few times we talk about this at camp as well, and we're like, you kind of have to stay away from social media and things like that when we're in competition, because we don't want that discouraging, while people obviously at times think they're supporting. But that's, you know, as an elite athlete, you kind of have to be aware of those things happening, and that's where you have to just toughen up and get ahead with the job at hand. It's been amazing. It's been a great year, and we really have to be grateful of how far we've come. There's a lot that we can still achieve, but this has been such a phenomenal year for Netball South Africa.
It certainly has. You can see all the goodwill, not only with the awards, but you can also feel it amongst the South African public. But Cecilia, the spotlight is now going to be on the federation leading up to the Netball World Cup, and that comes with a different kind of pressure, not the kind of pressure that the players are feeling.
Big pressure. Remember 2010, South Africa hosted the World Cup, and they've hosted rugby also and cricket. So we have to live up to the standard, and we should live up to the standard that INF wants, and we should do it the African way. You know, I believe that whatever we do when building up to 2023, it should be, make sure that we are not only focusing on hosting, but also focusing on the team that will be participating, because that's key. Because we want the girls to lift up the trophy in Cape Town. And to be, how wonderful would it be for us to win a trophy at home, on home ground. And remember, it's the first time a World Cup comes to Africa, and in the African soil, and in South Africa. And the biggest female federation hosting World Cup. So yes, there's pressure, but as I always say, No pressure. If we want to reach something, we always say in netball, no pressure, but we know there's pressure.
Okay, so Carla, there's your mandate for you. Go and win the World Cup on home soil. It's going to be very difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. But we very much happy to grab onto that challenge. We, over the past years, really shown that we are forced to be reckoned with, and we just grew over the past years, and there's no reason why we can't continue growing. And I feel like the environment we're creating is an environment that is very uplifting and allows you to grow as a person and as a player. And if we can continue to develop and investing in that type of environment, not just for the national team, but for netball as a whole in this country, and which we are very well capable of. So we're excited for that challenge. I mean, it would have been boring if there wasn't a challenge like that. So yeah, we'll grab it by two hands.
Oh, well, that's very positive for the rest of us sporting fans and netball fans to actually hear. It is going to be the very first World Cup that the continent is going to be hosting. And Bongi, something that we saw at the World Cup was just a standard that's lifted on the continent. Uganda and Malawi really doing well, along with South Africa once again.
It's definitely interesting, and even with the African champs, you could see how Uganda and especially Malawi just stood up, and it was such great to play against them. We always say when we play against the top three countries in the world, it's such different netball when you then have to play the African champs. But I think we've grown so much, like Kara said, as a team, and we kind of know when to step up and perform, and that's what we've been lacking on before. It's still a long way to go again, but we can really be glad that we are in a position where we're sitting now, because literally most countries are now looking to us like differently, which is what we want as a country, and we've shown that we can and we're capable. But again, I'll be failing if I don't really mention Coach Noma and Nicole, and again thanks to Netball South Africa for recognizing them and wanting them to come and join us and help us through, because I think it's been a long way coming, that the work that we're doing with their experience, it was going to show towards the end. And again, credit to our new coaches who just played African champs, the start of their coaching career with us, and I have to say Dort and Dumi did a great job. It's been an amazing journey, like I said, and it's just exciting because you kind of know it's going to be tough going forward, but it's what you can look forward to.
All right, so can we please just give Durban Badenhorst, who's the brand new Netball South Africa coach for our senior girls, just give her a round of applause. Herself and Dumisane have now taken up the challenge of leading our netball team, and certainly no easy task considering the transformation that Norma actually had on the team. There's a test series that is coming up against England. Okay, is it all systems go?
All systems go. We are ready. The girls are ready. We're going
Should
to
I
take
ask the
on
girls
England.
that actually?
That's how confident I am with my girls, because I know they can step up to anything. It's on home soil. England is coming the 29th, the 30th, and the 1st of December at the Velodrome in Cape Town. We will be playing against England, and our SA Spa baby Proteas, they will be playing Zimbabwe as
nice.
curtain raisers. So we'll have our senior team and our junior team playing. So the juniors will learn from the seniors, because they are going to 2021 Youth World Cup in Fiji. So we're preparing them, and they should learn a lot from their seniors.
How has Netball South Africa gotten it right? You've been a part of the structures, you now head up the federation, that the development structures are just so solid, and that really has created the foundation to reap the rewards that we currently see.
I think the thing that makes us think correctly is, as I can say, we started to listen to the people. I listen to the coaches. Dorette will tell you I listen to her. Whatever she wants, we make sure that we provide. Because as a former coach, I understand that if you're not giving what you want, even as a former player, I understand that if you're not taken care of the way you should be taken care of, you're not going to be able to perform. So I think me coming in as somebody who has been there, who has done that, it made me look at netball in a different view, to say, this is what the girls can want, this is what the coach will want, this is what administrators would want, and this is what everybody would want. And I think the most important thing, we've got a very good staff, support at the office, led by the CEO, of course, Miss Blanche Delago. She's sometimes this person that I sometimes say I don't want to work with, because of she's always on me, and she'll always make me do things, but I love her. I love her because of she has this thing that in her that she wants to push things, and she wants to see things happening. And that's what we are. Netball, we are a family. We are a team. Together, each achieves more. That's what we are.
Okay, so I did ask presidents if you guys are ready for the series coming up, because there's a little case of what happened in the bronze medal match in Liverpool that we need to atone for. Are you guys going into that test series thinking about what happened at the World Cup?
Yeah, definitely want to set the record straight. That was our last game at the World Cup, and obviously it didn't end the way we wanted it to, but I mean, we have another opportunity. I think the main thing for us is you can train as much as you want, but you really need to get that game exposure playing against the big teams in the world, and this is just another opportunity for that. So yeah, we're definitely going to go out there and try and set the record straight.
All right, so South Africa, you can watch our national netball team, the senior girls, in action in Cape Town come the end of November in a 3-match test series against England. And they're going to be buoyed after they cleaned up here at the South African Sports Awards. Thank you to all of you for being a part of our panel. We'll be back from the Durban Playhouse in a short while as we continue chatting to a couple of our winners from last night at the SA Sports Awards. Time now for Morning Live to take a break. We're back after this.